So Tipster's wrong, okay? Boogie is immediately coming out the gate swinging. Dude, oh my god, that is true! I remember that! Boogie is dating a girl, which is better than Anita Sarkeesian, who just got married to herself.
Because Tipster, it's exactly people like you that I'm trying to avoid when it comes to video games. People who preach tolerance in one hand and attack everyone they can on the other. People defending child pornography. People harassing women. You are the exact kind of person I play video games to get the hell away from, and I don't want your politics in my video games, and that should be okay, I think.
Not giving any examples and refusing to give any because he knows he's full of shit.
You guys know who Boogie2988 is. You guys know who Tipster is. You could make an hour, 2 hour, 4 hour long documentary on some of these guys are about to talk about. And it's been done. So, Boogie2988, recently, he's had quite the upswing in popularity. He's what's known as a lol cow online. He used to be a very wholesome creator. Was at one point even known as the Mr. Rogers of the internet. Here's the man, the myth, the legend. You might recognize him. You might not recognize him. He had a popular character named Francis. Let's go to videos. Let's go to popular videos. Dramatic fat guy Splash. At one point, he was on top of the game, dude. We're talking 39 million views here from Boogie2988 back in the day. Very inspirational stuff here, man. Just absolutely spectacle of a person. Beautiful. This was the internet. This is what got 39 million views. This is Mr. Beast numbers today. 39 million views. Wonderful. So that's basically him. He's kind of washed up now. It was exposed that he's not exactly what he made himself out to be. There's been documentaries on this guy. I want to give a Boogie298 doc. Let's give a shout out here. He was on Caleb Hammer. He's on the Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer. Mike Klum did a documentary about him. Really good. It's a little under an hour long. So that's him. He's just kind of a guy who used to be really popular on top of the game. Now he's not really liked very much. He's what's known as a lol cow. People laugh at him. I don't really know what else there's to go in with him. I mean, there's a lot to go into, but we could sit here and talk all day. So let's move on. Tipster. Who is Tipster? Tipster is honestly, oh my God, he's not much bigger than me these days. Really, he's not. If you look at his channel, I think he uploads like twice a day because he gets no views. And he's got 107,000 subscribers. But I think, on average, I think I do about as well as he does, which is pretty funny. People laugh at Joe Schmo. Well, they don't. Nobody laughs at me. I'm cool. So Tipster, who is Tipster? Tipster, he came up with the commentary community. At least that's when I heard of him. I think it's when a lot of people heard of Tipster. I think it's when he really was relevant. His relevancy is decreased epically. I mean, saying that he's comparable to me at all as far as popularity. I mean, to be fair, obviously I'm not as popular, but when it comes to actually getting my videos watched, I'm right there with Tipster. My channel's performance is not that far behind his, which is an assault. That is an insult. Okay. And then we're talking about a guy a couple years ago was getting 300,000 views, 100,000 views a video. Easy. Came up with the commentary community, looked at all the commentary shit, and basically this guy's deal. I don't like this guy. All right, let me preference with that. You're gonna get a pretty biased take from me. He's a grifter. He just goes where the money is, baby. He's one of the most dishonest people. Just by hearing the man speak, and we're gonna listen to him speak. I mean, you don't really gotta know what this guy's all about to know that he's just oozing. He just oozes. He's ooze. He is ooze. Come down off that high horse. I am the horse. We'll get into that too. Okay, so that's another fun thing about Tipster. So recently, this is meme and it's pretty accurate. Every time there is a debate on Lolly, like there recently was with Vosh, Tipster throws his hat in the ring. He's like Nicholas Diorio, great commentators like Nicholas Diorio would say that he's like the Pawn Star expert on Lolly. Whenever there's a discussion about Lolly on the internet, Tipster is there to let people know what's going on. Is that a kid? Is that a little boy? Is that a little girl? Let's get to the facts. Let's get to some clarification here. One of his biggest victories in the debate of defending Lolly was that this one time one of his people shared a picture of a alleged lolly, and it turned out not to be a lolly, because if it was a lolly, it'd have to be a little girl. It turned out to be a little boy, and that was Tipster's win. Still a kid, Tipster. Still a kid. So anyway, recently, Boogie tweeted something out on Twitter about this whole. There's like a, what was it? Sweet Baby Inc. Gamergate 2, they're calling it. I think there was some drama. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't really care. I don't get into the gaming drama. So you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna jump right to it. Boogie2988 here, out of nowhere, out of the blue, came out. And he came for Tipster, which is amazing. I'm eating a bagel. Eating a bagel. I don't really care about his take on Gamergate 2. This isn't about Gamergate 2. This isn't about Sweet Baby Inc. or whatever the hell happened. I have no clue what happened over there. I'm not versed. But we'll just start here with this video because I think he goes over. There was a Twitter beef about the Sweet Baby Inc. Boogie gave an opinion on Twitter. Tipster came after him. And Boogie's not been winning lately. He gets pwned in debates all the time. People yell at him. He kind of just takes it. But Boogie went on the assault here. And from what I've heard, he whooped Tipster's ass into irrelevancy. I tried to get my timeline straight before we started the video, but we'll talk about what happened after this video after we go over this video. Oh my God, we got an ad. Skip.
After all of this Gamergate stuff started popping off, I decided to have a little fun on Twitter with this tweet here. And a lot of people have asked me, do I stand by this tweet? And the answer is yes. Video games should be fun. They shouldn't be political.
What was the tweet? So, just quick. Gamergate, that's internet jargon. Basically, a couple years ago, this big thing was like, Gamergate was stuff going on behind the scenes to promote like social politics in video games. It was like a conspiracy that got exposed because this one girl that made a game was banging all these guys that reviewed games, and it was this whole thing. That's the gist of it. Now, whatever's going on with Sweet Baby Inc. is adjacent, and Boogie here, hot take, video games are supposed to be fun. I agree with that. Not lectures about why being a white man is bad. I'm sure that I'm sure like something that someone could be interpreted as preachy occurs in video games of that level. Not in the games that I play, but I don't play a lot of games. Let's continue.
Here, and a lot of people have asked me, do I stand by this tweet? And the answer is yes. Video games should be fun. They shouldn't be political lectures of pretty much any type. And whereas almost any sane person should agree with this tweet, a lot of people got hung up with the last couple of words. And most of the replies were just a good time, except replies from one person, and that is Tipster. And that sucks because I normally abide by the fat guy.
As we watch this, I want to keep in mind that on Financial Audit, Caleb yelled at him for paying an editor, and Boogie's defense excuse for paying an editor, not that Boogie's lazy. Boogie went, because the editor that I hire is infinitely better at editing than I am. No offense to Boogie's editor, but keep that in mind as we go through this video. This is not difficult.
Code where fat guys tend to leave other fat guys alone if we can, but Tipster drew first blood, and I'm going Rambo on his ass.
They drew first blood, not me.
Oh!
Tipster saw my video talking about Sweet Baby Incorporated and decided to post some clips from it, basically saying that I was now on the alt-right grift. And I wonder why someone like Tipster would think that of me. Well, it's classic projection. And if you watch this video by Turkey Tom, which I'm going to highlight chunks of here, but I'll also link it down below, you'll get an idea of the type of person that Tipster is. Specifically, Tipster is someone who tried to be a video game YouTuber and failed at that, then joined the commentary community and got kicked out of that community, so now instead he grifts the Rainbow Coalition and is also failing to do that. Now, the reason I'm making this video is to talk about this live stream where Tipster had to go live last night for 45 minutes to talk about what an anti-woke grifter he thinks I've become. Spoiler alert, I'm no grifter. I just think sometimes it's right to call out bad people for doing bad things. And if I'm in the company of people like Asmongold while I'm doing it...
Second, pause. Is he a grifter? What do we think about Boogie being a grifter? Dishonest? Yeah, dishonest. I mean, this guy is an incredibly unreliable narrator. But, like, I don't know. Who's to say that? Like, I don't think there's many cases of him actually, like, grifting. He's been the chubby video game guy his whole career. He was trying to portray himself to be nice, got exposed for being bad, and then he kind of tries to play the bad character now. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think.
I feel pretty comfortable doing it. So I just wanted to highlight some of the things that Tipster had to say in this live stream and give my opinions.
So he's saying like Alan Wake 2, God of War, Ragnarok.
What does grifting mean? How I would define grifting is like, you jump around different like topics, and it's normally like motivated for like from like clout or like money. Like if you were to like, I think an extreme example, if I understand correctly, would be like if I was a leftist political YouTuber and then right-wing content started taking off, I would swing ships and I would start making right-wing politic type videos. That would be grifting. Tipster, I say, is a grifter because he's gaming, commentary, politics. He's all over the place with politics. I mean, like, so Tipster is a grifter, in my opinion.
He's saying these games were too big to fail. But then he's talking about how like Suicide Squad was a stinker, which I hear it is a pretty bad game.
I don't know, Tipster. What do you think Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, and God of War 2 have in common? It's the number 2. Those video games are sequels to very well-loved games that had very little politics in them and a shitload of fun. The industry knows that's a...
I barely know what grifter means. Fair enough. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't get into politics, and it's typically a term used to describe someone in a political realm. Yeah.
a really good time to shove politics down your throats because you're going to buy it anyway. So it's a good time to get you to sit down and listen to a lecture.
This is literally just about being treated poorly by Anita Sarkeesian at VidCon. So he was speaking out against like Gamergaters at the time, right? And now he's decided he wants to join them.
I don't know. I always felt I beat Anita Sarkeesian there because I got invited back to VidCon the next year and she didn't.
He did. That's true. That was a big drama back in the day. This girl, Anita Sarkeesian, yelled at Boogie at VidCon. It was this big drama and Boogie got invited back, not Anita. So Tipster is fucking wrong. Okay. Boogie is immediately coming out the gate fucking swinging. Ladies and gentlemen, swinging.
Also, I'm dating my dream girl, and Anita just celebrated her birthday party by having
oh my God, that is true. I remember that. Boogie is dating a girl, which is better than Anita Sarkeesian, who just got married to herself 26 weeks ago. Dude, Tipster, as always, common Tipster L, ladies and gentlemen. Common Tipster L. The man never has a fucking clue what he's talking about. Oh my God. All right.
Wedding. So I
Hi, G.
feel like I'm winning. And no, that panel wasn't about Gamergate. It was about online harassment, which can come from people on the right or the left or even the middle. And if Gamergate 2.0 comes out to being some sort of harassment campaign, I will distance myself from the harassment.
Nobody knows who Tipster is, but I don't know. We already kind of went over that. But Tipster is a guy who came up in games, didn't really do well with games. Then he did commentary, and now like guys like Nicholas Diorio, all those guys don't like him because he's a piece of shit. He's a dishonest guy. He's not good. His videos are just bad. He makes bad content. His content's like on par with mine as far as performance, which is an insult, as I'm not good. And he's beefing with Boogie, basically. That's the cliff notes of Tipster.
But I'll still say the video games are
And
supposed to be fun.
Boogie slammed
Liking
him.
fun video games and thinking they shouldn't be taken over by identity politics isn't harassment. You have to be an extra kind of stupid to think that I'm aligning myself with terrorists just because I'm sharing that opinion.
Hey guys, it's me, Francis. And you know, last time this Gamergate thing happened all those years ago, I'm gonna side with all the racists and the Nazis and stuff like that because they seem to think I'm a really cool guy.
I don't even know where to start with that other than the fact that he genuinely thought he was doing something there. And it's really great that he's that stupid. It is nice to see him just admitting that he thinks that if you like fun video games and you don't want to be pandered to in those games, that you are a racist.
Do we feel
and
like
a
that?
Nazi.
Do we feel
And it's
that?
just-
Do we feel that? Side convo. Do we feel like video games are pandering identity politics? Do we feel that? I don't feel that, but maybe I'm just not playing the right games. I play like Helldivers 2 and Sea of Thieves and Grand Theft Auto.
It's awesome to see him own that.
Anybody who knows me in my audience knows that I do not overused terms like, you know, racists and Nazis.
Racists and the Nazis.
And by now, you all know these are just buzzwords they use when they don't have a valid argument against the fact that video games should be fun. These people just do not understand that video games for us is a form of escapism to escape real-world politics, and we're not here to pay $70 to be lectured to.
I mean, fair enough.
Showing my quote tweet, right? That's because Boogie couldn't handle my criticism. He couldn't handle the fact that I'm right.
Tipster, I block everybody on Twitter almost for
He does.
no reason. People seem to like it when I do it. They wear it as like a badge of honor. Oh, look, Boogie blocked me. And
They
also, I don't have to deal with their bullshit. But Tipster, that's not why I blocked you. I blocked you because you were a disgusting, depraved human being. Just last month.
Dude, he really is not a good guy. Even when he's talking about something and I agree with him, the way that Tipster talks, I just feel like I've met that person 100 times at a bar, like trying to impress some girl that's 20 years younger than him.
That you were defending drawn photos of child pornography, and that just irks me.
He did do that. He always does that. He always does that. Tipster has like a track record. We're going to get into this. Tipster has a track record of defending animated CP on the internet, dude. He does.
Humanly possible. You're only
He threw himself into that Vosh conversation. That Vosh guy I made the video about. Tipster just threw himself in there. Like Vosh is like probably begging him at this point to shut the fuck up, because the only person that kept carrying on the Vosh combo of CP was like Tipster and Keffels.
only online friend left is Keffels, and she threw you under the bus because you were defending child pornography. I may not be Mr. Rogers, but at least I don't have a history of both harassing online e-girls as well as online trans women. You call me a grifter because I broke my silence on this whole video game topic. You're the one who left the commentary community to go fleece the LGBTQ. You want to warn me about aligning myself with the right? Well, you know what? That's not something I plan to do. I just want to align myself with people who like video games, and there's plenty of people on the left that do that. But you're choosing to ally yourself with the left and only the left, excluding anybody that happens to be in the middle or the right, and that's a really bad plan for you. The reason you're failing at everything you're trying to do right now is because you're trying to appeal to the left, but you're such a vile, disgusting person that even they don't want to have anything to do with it.
Dude, that is true. That is true, dude. Everybody, dude. For a guy that has over 100,000 subscribers, his performance on his channel is the same as mine, dude. He can grift as hard as he wants, dude. Nobody likes him. and his content's just not good. He just regurgitates what everyone else is saying and puts out like 2 videos a day. There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
Regurgitating the left's talking points can only get you so far, and when somebody on the left finds out that you harass women or defend child porn, they don't want to have anything to do with you. I'm not here to talk about the left or the right or anything in the middle. I'm just talking about video games.
Dave Jones, that is I'm watching mentally ill person live that's watching other mentally ill people video. That is literally the internet anymore. That is just what YouTube is now.
And people being informed whether or not a certain company worked on it so they can choose whether or not to spend their hard-earned money on that. And why is that difficult for you to understand? Because, Tipster, it's exactly people like you that I'm trying to avoid when it comes to video games. People who preach tolerance in one hand and attack everyone they can on the other. People defending child pornography.
No,
people
Tipster.
harassing women. You are the exact kind of person I play video games to get the hell away from, and I don't want your politics in my video games, and that should be okay, I think. I'm not trying to appeal to the right or Nazis or any of that shit. I'm just speaking what I believe to be true. The video game should be fun, and I think it's so sad and sick that you can't see that. I don't have problems with anybody on the left or the right as long as they're not extremists, and if you're an extremist, you can go fuck yourself.
I hate that. And if you're an extremist, you can go F yourself. Like that is where Boogie loses me here, because I feel like it's performative. I feel like he in this moment is like virtue signaling to a specific audience, where he's like, I have no problems with anybody unless you're an extremist, and if you're an extremist, well then you can go fuck yourself. That, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. That just comes off very performative.
At the end of the day, I'm not trying to appeal to anybody other than the fact that some people like video games and some people want them to remain fun and some people don't want motherfuckers fucking with that. And if you're an extremist, go fuck yourself. And if you're not an extremist, well, you can come join that. And
Like, what is an extremist? Like, what is an we're gonna move on quick, but like, what is an? Don't get me wrong. That term definitely applies to some people, but it's such a vague term that will get people on your side easily. And he's saying it with such confidence and just, you can go fuck yourself. It's like that's like, you know what, guys? Hey, if you're an extremist, go fuck yourself. I don't deal with extremists on my channel. Who am I telling to fuck themselves? Who am I talking to? But you probably have an idea of an extremist in your head, and it's probably negative. So I'm on your side. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that.
Some video games together. Helldivers 2 is pretty good, and the new Final Fantasy has been really great so far. So Tipster, now I'm done with you, and I'm going to go back to blocking you because I don't want you.
He is done with him, dude. He fucking slammed them
onto my timeline.
He slammed them.
You've done that. You've done that.
He did.
And
He did. I was fucking yapping. Listen, right here. Tipster has done this. Tipster's posted this shit. Listen.
Onto my timeline because you've done that. So Tipster, now I'm done with you, and I'm going to go back to blocking you because I don't want you accidentally retweeting lolly porn onto my timeline because you've done that.
Yes.
You've done that,
dude.
and I don't want to see it. I rarely choose to make videos like this. I rarely choose to respond, and when I do, I always try to keep some decorum.
Make
but
more.
You deserve none of it. You
Easy
are down
dunk
to
on
the
for
last
Boogie.
shred of internet dignity that you had left, and that person's name was Keffels, and even she.
Yeah, dude. Even Keffels in her video. We'll get into Keffels later if you guys give a shit. I would love to start watching because that's a storm that's brewing. That the Keffels situation. But yeah, Keffels was like his only buddy online, and even she's done with him at this point, which is so funny. So I guess that's the gist of the argument. That's the gist of the argument was just his Twitter, this whole drama with Sweet Baby Inc. It's Gamergate 2. They're forcing identity politics into their video games. I honestly don't know anything about that, but honestly, the conversation moved away from that to ad hominem attacks, bringing up their past, and everything in this video was 100% spot on. Boogie just knocked Tipster out of the park, which is just so funny because it just shows like Boogie's not a guy known for winning these types of arguments and debates online. So Tipster probably thought this was gonna be an easy dunk. And Boogie just tore his whole freaking house down, dude. Yo, I destroyed mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are freaking good, dude. Yeah, guys, I'm an extremist and anything. I don't know. I'm not clever. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm an extremist enthusiast of alcohol. Yeah, very vague term. But the way he used it is so like and if you're an extremist, well, you can go fuck yourself. Like, okay. Like, yeah, what does that mean? It means nothing. Shut up. But other than that, yeah, I know he railed him. So let's go check out Tipster's response. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I watched a little bit of the Boogie thing. I clicked through it, but I have not watched the Tipster response. So here we have Tipster's channel for those of you that might be new to Tipster. And like I said, we have a guy here, blew up with commentary. He has his pronouns which in his thing, which I don't know why I'm putting that out. I really don't have a problem with that. But the commentary community he is so proud to have left behind, they're not into that type of thing. He's a based memer. He's a lord of the goth mommies. Pretty epic. He has 107,000 subscribers, 2.4 thousand videos. My God. And his performance, I mean, he posts like twice a day. So he posts a lot more than me. If I post this much and my videos were this low quality, I don't think I would pull the same numbers. But overall, like upload to upload, I think my channel performance is very comparable to his, which is hilarious. So funny thing before we get into this, I tried to validate before I started the stream this, but after Boogie put out that video, if you looked up Tipster on YouTube, you could not find Tipster's channel. It was just videos about Tipster. So like that shows how irrelevant he is from where he's come from. The fact that he is a topic. He is a topic. He himself Like YouTube is like, oh, people are looking up Tipster, but nobody's looking up Tipster to watch Tipster. They're looking up Tipster to watch videos talking shit on Tipster, to the point where Tipster took to Twitter to complain about the fact that YouTube couldn't help him with that. He fixed it now. He must have cried or paid someone. But oh god, we got to get into this. Goth mommies, baby. Yeah, dude. Tipster's dude. You guys don't know, dude. There's so much to get into with this guy. I'm trying to skirt across the top of the lake. I'm like rock skipping across Tipster here for the boogie conversation. So, all right, where are we? Boogie 298. Here it is, dude. Boogie 298. Boogie 2988 has become an anti-woke grifter. 4.5k views. Best video he's done in a while. Let's see. Oh my god, we're going to skip through this a little bit. This is 48 minutes. What is there to 48 minutes. You need 48 minutes to pick apart an 8-minute video about All right, Tipster. He sucks. Tipster sucks. He really does. What do the comments say? Tipster is the Reddit mod stereotype. Whoa, it's a good thing Tipster never got into making drama content. They're all just shitting. He's a joke. He is a joke. He is a fucking joke. He's more of a lol cow than Boogie is at this point. Oh my god. All right. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? Could you Could you fucking imagine? Oh my god, how old is Tipster? I'm 27. Could you imagine? Here, hold on, let's start the stream again.
I'm sure a lot of you guys in my chat are familiar with the content creator.
Shut up. Look at this guy. He's just Nicholas Diorio brings this up all the time. He is just a rip-off Nicholas Diorio, dude. He has no personality. He truly has no personality. You can hear when he talks. He's drawing from nothing. He's a blank slate. He's a programmable NPC. He's a robot that has programmed himself to just attempt to regurgitate the most politically safe way, the most popular opinion on every topic that he's forced to upload because the man can't hold down a job. God. All right. Copilot mentioned, yeah, eat steak and lick my fingers like an 8-year-old. Sue me. That's epic, dude. All right, let's try to go through this a little bit. I didn't go through and get any cliff notes, so we'll just.
I'm sure a lot of you guys in my chat are familiar with a content creator known as Boogie.
Is that too loud? I'm going to turn it down a little bit.
2988. Do we have some Boogie on the soundboard? I think we do.
Talk me.
We do. We absolutely have Boogie on the soundboard. So we're going to be talking about a content creator known as Boogie2988 because recently he decided to do something very interesting that I did not see coming. Now, you guys may know not too long ago I talked about Gamergate 2, this whole thing with, what is it, Sweet Baby Inc. or whatever. I kind of gave my thoughts on it. I did get a little bit of pushback from people saying that I'm not really well informed on the topic. So I've done, I've watched some videos from both.
Can we get my chat moving quicker than his chat? I feel like we have about the same people. I should just do this. I should just repost. I should just do this, what he's doing. This is the easiest way. No wonder you can put out 2 videos a day.
Sides of the argument. And I don't think I was too far off, if I'm being completely honest, although during the course of this topic, I will kind of address some things that I might have missed in my previous coverage. But either way, I have my thoughts on it, and I pretty much stand by the thoughts that I gave before in my previous video. I think this is a nothing burger. I think it's not all that big of a deal. And I think it's insane to try and revive the ashes of Gamergate over this stupid shit. Yet here we are. But in any case, Boogie decided to chime in with his thoughts on Gamergate 2.
All right. Minute and a half into it, talking about Boogie. Let's slow it down and see if he has anything important to say.
And apparently he's decided that this time around he's going to join the fray.
Oh shit!
Because last time, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said something along the lines of he was a fence sitter last time, and he tried to pander to like leftists and stuff like that the last time around, and it didn't do him any good. So now he's going to be on the quote right side of
Boogie never said that.
Of history. That's
Oh, I guess he did say that. I thought he was going to say right wing. I jumped the gun.
what he says. If you don't believe me, we'll see it in a little bit. But in any case, he tweeted this out yesterday at the time of this recording. Hot take, video games are supposed to be fun. You know, I'd actually agree. Video games are supposed to be fun. And a lot
Really, Tipster? Really, Tipster? Do you agree? Wow, Tipster. What an innovating, informative take. Thank you for letting me know that you agree that video games should be fun, Tipster. Wow.
of video games are fun.
Hi, Lucky.
There's a few stinkers that get released, or maybe games that aren't just my cup of tea, but for the most part, video games are fun, and they are meant to be fun. So video games are supposed to be fun, not lectures
Dude, my chat rate's literally faster than his right now, guys. Keep it up. Keep it up.
about why being a white man is bad. Now, I have to be honest with you guys, chat. You know, I can't remember ever playing a video game that lectured me on how being a white man is bad.
That's a fair take. That's a fair take, because I can't either. Can anybody give me an instance? Can we confirm an instance where identity politics were crammed down our throats in video games? I don't know. I don't play enough video games. I can't comment on that. Are there gamers in the true gamers in the audience? True gamers. Are they out there? Let me know.
Can I get some ones in the chat if you've ever played a video game that lectured you on how being a white man is bad? Because I don't think I've ever played a game that does that. And it's looking like my chat agrees with me on that, because I'm not seeing any ones. I'm seeing a lot of twos.
Can we do the same? Can we do the same? Can we get some ones? Can we get some twos? What he said, what Tipster said. Come on, chat. I'm not losing to Tipster. Okay, we can do this. We're small, but we're strong.
And a lot of nopes and stuff like that. But like, I'm not seeing any ones. So something tells me that Boogie might have pulled that out of his ass. But in any case, he says, watch this on my channel if you want a more nuanced take on this tweet. Gamergate 2 is officialed. Sweet Baby Inc. versus Elon Musk. So let's go ahead. I have the video pulled up here.
All right. Well, I do want to hear Tipster's take on it. So you know what?
This is the video in question, and we're going to watch it. And we're going to kind of give our thoughts as we go along. So without further ado,
Play that shit!
here we go, chat.
Well, gamers, grab your Mountain Dew.
Okay, looks like I need to boost the audio just a
You do.
bit.
Boogie's
So
audio
let's do that
sucked.
real
I'm going to
quick.
give
Here we go.
Tipster that. Tipster
be
gets a W for the audio. Tipster's audio is way better than Boogie's, which is kind of sad because Boogie's been doing this for a million kajillion years. Let's skip it. Let's hear Boogie.
Better.
Lock and load your controllers. Gamergate 2 has officially begun. And who's leading the clapback this time? Is it just some random neckbeard on the internet like me? No, it's Elon freaking Musk. And you might be asking, who is Elon squaring off against? Is it some Anita Sarkeesian type? No. It's Homeland Security. I'm going to break this video down into two parts to get people caught up to speed as to exactly what's happening and why it's happening. And secondly,
So this isn't the video we watched. This is Boogie's original Gamergate video that we did not watch.
as an old head who lived through the first Gamergate and in fact made quite a few mistakes.
I don't really care. I'm going to breeze over it because then maybe I'll get a better understanding of what they're talking about. But I don't give a shit about the Gamergate thing. I don't care.
During the first Gamergate, I want to talk about my opinion on what's probably going to happen here.
I remember for me, the first
All right, let's let him just...
Gamergate, when that happened or whatever, like I remember hearing a lot of content creators talking about it and like, gaming
Actually, no, let's listen to Tipster. I want you guys to appreciate how little he has to offer any conversation.
journalism outlets talking about it and stuff, but I didn't really understand what it was at the time. It wasn't something until like later on that I kind of like looked into it and found out what it was. And I was like, oh man, this is like pretty shitty, on the surface.
Sticking out your cat for the rin. No,
It sounds like, something that would be good. Ethics and games journalism. That's the way they
Tipster, Vosh, Keffels, and now Boogie. What a shit show. Boogie's slaughtering him, dude. We'll get into... Dude. Keffels, man. Once we're done, once I feel like I've gotten through everything I want to get through here, I would like to go into Keffels a little bit more because that is a storm that is brewing.
framed it. We're just trying to have ethics and games journalism, and then when you actually see what it became, like this whole like
Speed this
harassment
up.
campaign
He is
against like
nothing.
women in gaming and stuff like that, it was a fucking like mess. So yeah, I'm kind of glad I had no involvement in that the first time
To be fair, I don't really... I understand the basics of what Gamergate was, but I wasn't there for it. I don't look it up. I don't really care. I don't really give a shit.
around because it just sounds like a fucking mess.
we should be doing. Now, all of this starts with a company that you probably never heard of, known as Sweet Baby Incorporated, which in their own words is a narrative development and consultation studio based in Montreal and working around the globe. Their mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. They aim to make more games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. Spoiler alert, they mostly failed to do so. Now, right
This is what's like crazy to me, right? Okay, so first of all, like if you're not familiar with Sweet Baby
Wait, what the fuck? Sweet Baby Inc. made Spider-Man 2, God of War, Alan Wake 2. I'm curious. Sorry, there's something going on. I'm curious if they get into where the. I am now a little curious. God damn it, Boogie, you drew me in. Did Boogie make a good video? What? I'm intrigued by Boogie's video. Because these are good games that they're behind. And I'm curious to see why this is Gamergate 2. Like, it's God of War. Where's the identity politics in God of War Ragnarok?
Obviously, he read their description of themselves off their website, but they're a consulting firm. Okay, like that's kind of what they are. Companies.
They consult, so they're consultants. So Sweet Baby is a consulting company. Well, what's wrong with? I don't know enough, but I don't really see the problem with that. I have no problem with exclusivity. Like, I have no problem with trying to be aware of and be inclusive in games, as long as we're not shoving politics down each other's throats. Because, you know, guys know me, I don't like politics. Not a big fan.
Can hire them to kind of evaluate their current progress on a project, and they can kind of like give advice like any other consulting firm will do. They'll evaluate things, they'll give advice on how they think that they can improve the project from a narrative perspective or whatever. Like, if you've ever basically had your employer, or maybe you're an employer yourself and you work with a consulting firm, like, this is what they do. You know, they'll consult whatever you're hiring them to look at. They'll
Thank you for describing what a consultant is, Tipster. Can you shut the hell up and let Boogie continue now? Thank you.
give you advice, and it's up to you whether you take the advice or not. And this is like an optional thing. Okay, like, you choose to hire these firms to help you with these various different things. And in this case, it's a consulting firm to help with, you know, narratives of video games and stuff like that. And like a lot of times they're helping with like diversity and inclusion in games, things of that nature. Obviously, the anti-woke crowd, not big fans of this stuff. Me personally, I don't give a shit. As long as the game's fun to play, I don't really care if they, you know, do this kind of stuff during the creation of the game. As long as it's fun, like, I don't give a fuck. But in any case, here's some of the games that they've worked on: Alan Wake, God of War, Ragnarok. You know, there's some pretty noteworthy games here. Very
Ian,
successful
you're a cool
games as
guy.
well. So when I see a lot of people talking about how like, oh, well, if Sweet Baby Inc. is involved in your game, like, it's like doomed to fail. It's like, well, no, there's been several successful games that they've worked on, and it doesn't really hurt anything. So I don't get it, right? Like, it just seems kind of dumb. But anyway,
Here on their website, you'll see a list of
Boogie's back. Thank God. Thank God, isn't it?
games that they have worked on. And this is important later, so take a big note. But you'll see that some of these games have been too big to fail. God of War, Ragnarok, you know, sequel.
that sounds like a cope to me. Okay, if you're trying.
How is that cope? How is that cope? That I hate him. I hate this guy. I hate him. I can't even watch him. I've tried to make like videos on him before. I hate him so much. I can't. The dramas, especially for how SBI reacts to a stream curator list. The drama is special. What? The drama is especially for how SBI reacted to a stream curator list. Oh, is that what the drama is around? But I don't know. All Boogie said is there's some good games on here, and he's like, that's cope. How is that cope? Did I misunderstand?
Here on their website, you'll see a list of games that they have worked on. And this is important later, so take a big note. But you'll see that some of these games have been too big to fail. God of War, Ragnarok, you know, sequel.
That sounds like a cope to me. Okay, if you're trying to sell me on this idea that this company, anything they touch turns to shit. Okay, if that's what you want to sell me on, that they're bad for the games industry because everything they touch turns to shit, you can't tell me a cope.
I haven't heard that from Boogie yet. But continue on why that was a cope.
Like, oh, you know, these games, they were too big to fail. You know, yeah, they were involved in this and they did some horrible things in these games, but they were too big to fail. Like, come on. All right? You're already arguing against your own point here, okay?
He's not, but I think I understand what he's saying. Boogie's already trying to set it up that the games that were successful because they were just giant IPs that were too big to fail. And that is correct. Boogie is doing that. He is setting it up to that direction. So yeah, it's just the guy just sounds like he's full of shit all the time. I don't know if that's cope. I think he's setting up the argument for the video. I don't think it's cope.
Okay.
To the original God of War, Alan Wake 2 sequel to the original Alan Wake, Spider-Man 2, too big to fail. And some other games on here are some real stink.
If anybody spends any money on the stream, at the end of the stream, I will give you your tarot card reading if you want.
Like Suicide Squad.
I just found tarot
where they
cards.
worked
Might as
on
well
the
use
script
them.
writing, the banter, the cutscenes.
That's what's funny is like, so he's saying like Alan Wake 2, God of War, Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2. He's saying these games were too big to fail. But then he's talking about how like Suicide Squad was a stinker, which I hear it is a pretty bad game. I didn't play it myself. It wasn't something I was interested in. But pretty much everybody I know who's played it, they've said, yeah, it's a pretty bad game. But here's the thing. Why are these big name titles, Alan Wake 2, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, why were these ones, quote, too big to fail? But another big title that was also very, very big, it was a big production and a big production house behind it. There was a lot of hype behind the game, and it ended up being a shitty game. Why wasn't Suicide Squad too big to fail? Because again, it's Cope, and I know what my chat wants, and I'm going to give it to him.
You are coping and see.
I don't know, guys. I might skip. I'm gonna log off and come back in a minute. All right, Dave Jones. I think I'm not sure, guys. What do you guys think so far? I might try to just skip ahead to where Tipster responds to Boogie's response video. But I'm also kind of curious to get both of their takes on this Gamergate situation because I don't know what's going on. And I'm hearing both sides of the argument, essentially. Maybe not from the most reliable people, but I know that going into it, so I can kind of try to take what information. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. We'll skip ahead if you want, but I am actually kind of interested in hearing the back and forth to try to understand what's going on because I don't really get it.
But Suicide Squad wasn't too big to fail? No.
Oh god, that is just pure chaos. We got to slow down. We got to slow down.
Legitimate, like, bad game. A lot of
Oh my god, Tipster. Like, all right, guys. So we're gonna talk here. We're gonna talk here while my song, the funny song that I play for a bit. We're just gonna let that play while I talk to you guys. So it's not gonna be a problem. It's fucking chaos. This guy's a professional streamer.
people would agree that it's a bad game, but like, to make the argument that like any game that these people touch just turns to shit, it's clearly not true, because we have several examples here that are just fine.
I fucking hate everyone.
Anyway.
Things. You know, the things that made Suicide Squad utterly fail. Meanwhile, over here on Steam, you'll see these curation pages where people can curate lists of games based on all kinds of different things, whether or not they recommend them or don't recommend them, the type of game they are, the type of DRM they use. And this user decided to create a list of games based on games that Sweet Baby Incorporated had worked on. That way, you know, if you've had a good experience with this company in the past, you could play that game based on that recommendation. And if you've had a bad experience in the past, you can choose to avoid that game.
That's bullshit, okay? Like,
why is that bullshit? I'll let him talk.
The notion that someone would, oh, you know, I played a Sweet Baby Inc. game and it was good, and so this list was created for people who might want to play other Sweet Baby Inc. games. Come on, Boogie. We know what the reason was that this curated list was created. It was purely created because, like, hey, you know, Sweet Baby Inc., they do woke games, and we don't want woke games, so here's a list of all the games that they make so you don't play them. Like, nobody's using this list to be like, yo, I had a positive experience with a Sweet Baby Inc. game, so I want to use this list to play other games of theirs. Come on.
You're doing
That, how can you say that? Oh god, you're watching to a guy react to a guy reacting. But no, how can you say that? Okay, I'm not going to argue with Tipster. The intentions of this list 100% very well could have been negative, so that people that don't agree with the politics of Sweet Baby Inc. would avoid these games in the future, but it can just as easily be used as a way for people who do like these games by that this company's consulted for, or even like their politics and just want to support games that they make based on the politics that they preach, which I don't really know if they do or they don't. It can be used either way. It's just a list, dude. It's just a fucking list. Moving on.
Inform the consumer. Well, eventually the Steam group caught the attention of Chris Kindred, who works for Sweet Baby Incorporated. And
The other collective in the chat says it's the right-wing blacklist. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's what the intent of this list is. And I think it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody wants to create a list because they're like, oh man, woke video games, you should not, whatever, make your little list.
Thank you for the gifted.
It's whatever. But like, even so, like, I think we can agree that it's kind of cringe though. Like, why do you care so much whether like a company worked on a game? Or if you want to play the game, then don't play the game. But it just seems like lame to make such a big deal about, like, how is this any different than Heels versus Babyface getting worked up over like pronouns in a game? You know, this is just the next level extension of that. Anyway.
Chris tweeted out saying that there was a harassment group dedicated to harassing Sweet Baby Incorporated, and that it obviously doesn't adhere to Steam's policies and code of conduct. And she encouraged people to report the hell out of the group in the hopes that it would get
What? Okay, now this is stupid. Actually, this is kind of dumb. Hold on, now I'm a little interested. What did this fucking guy do? He works for Sweet Baby Inc.
Other Sweet Baby Inc. games.
This list could be used for good or bad. Okay, this is not inherently a blackmail list. I don't care what anyone says. It is just a list. Now, if they made the list because Sweet Baby Inc.'s under attack and people that don't agree with Sweet Baby Inc. can use the list to not buy the games, fair enough. But it's just a list at the end of the day. I mean, there's no description here where it's like, these are a list of games to not play. It's just a list of games on Steam.
Games. Come on, Boogie. We know what the reason.
Come on, Boogie. Come on, Boogie. Can't you hear by the sound of my voice that's just so obvious, Boogie? I fucking hate him.
This curated list was created.
Yeah, Dave, go buy yourself some Snickers bars, man. I appreciate it. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll take your money, but like seriously, I hope you're rich, dude. You can just go like get food. If Dave wants anybody's tarot card reading done when we do these, and don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be it's gonna be a funny thing. It's not gonna be a real thing, but yeah, dude, Dave can vouch for anybody, and we'll do it. But all right.
It was purely created because, like, hey, you know, Sweet Baby Inc., they do woke games, and we don't want woke games, so here's a list of all the games that they make so you don't play them.
It's just a list. You can use it any way you want to use it.
List to be like, yo, I had a positive experience with a Sweet Baby Inc. game.
You don't know that.
I want to use this
You
list
don't
to play
know
other
that.
games of theirs. Come on.
Come on. Come on. Now, guys, we obviously can tell here, like, seriously, come on, Tipster. We all know that this Sweet Baby Inc. is not being used to just give it a little blacklist to like, Tipster. Come on. That's how he talks. That's how he talks. That's how he talks. And it's annoying, and it sucks, and it's disingenuous, and it's performative, and the guy has no personality.
Form the consumer. Well, eventually, the Steam group caught the
Right.
attention of Chris Kindred, who works for Sweet Baby Incorporated. And
The Undead
Chris-
Collective in the chat says it's the right-wing blacklist. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That was
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
intent.
yeah. Thanks, chat. Yeah, chat. See, guys, somebody agrees with me. The 3 people in my chat agree with me. Exactly. I'm not crazy. It's everyone else. I mean, I don't even know if he's right or wrong. It just he doesn't know either, and you can tell it in his voice.
Of this list is, and I think it's like, I mean, at the
I
end
think
of the day,
it's like,
if
and at
somebody
the end of
wants
the
to
day-
create a list because they're like, oh man, woke video games, you should not play. Whatever, make your little list. It's whatever.
So it's whatever now. He can't. I hate him. He sucks. He's terrible. That's why out of 100,000 subscribers, 3 of them watch his live stream. He's terrible. He sucks. I hate him. He's awful.
But like, even so, like it's. I think we can agree that it's kind of cringe, though.
When you're a commentary YouTuber, you have to have an opinion. Tipster has no opinion. You can hear it in his voice. Come on, you see, guys. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Shut
Like,
up.
why do you care so much whether like a company worked on a game or if you don't want to play the game, then don't play the game. But it just seems like lame to make such a big deal about. Like, how is this any different than heels versus babyface getting worked up over like pronouns in a game? You know, this is just the next level extension of that. Anyway,
just tweeted out saying that there was a harassment group dedicated to harassing Sweet Baby Incorporated, and that it obviously doesn't adhere to Steam's policies and code of conduct. And
Well, that's all it is. Steam community group, Sweet Baby Inc. detects. It's for letting people know if a game is involved with this company. That is not inherently a fucking harassment group. So this guy's wrong. This Chris Kindred guy is crying, coping, and seething because, yeah, okay. So this is where the grift, because the only reason he would care is if he is trying to sneak, like, from my perspective, the only reason he should give a shit is if he is genuinely trying to sneak identity politics into games. And now that Sweet Baby Inc., for whatever reason, has been exposed as a consulting company that does that, they don't want you to know if they're consulting because they want you to play the game so they can preach their politics at you. I can understand where that line of thinking would come from. Whether I agree with it or not, I'm not saying, but I can understand where this is all coming together now.
she encouraged people to report the hell out of the group in the hopes that it would get taken down.
I don't know if I can stop Dave from donating. I mean, I can just kick him, but I don't want to kick him. All right, we're gonna let him go.
And while you're
Get yourself some candy, dude. Order some Uber Eats.
now I will say this, okay? I actually do have some criticism to give the folks over at Sweet Baby Inc.
Okay.
This right here, basically like signal boosting, like a tweet, like, hey, go and flag this shit or whatever. Like, this was really dumb, okay?
Okay.
Like, if you're dealing with legitimate harassment, like, you know, doxings and swatting threats and, you know, like actual forms of harassment, like, just report that shit and don't say anything about it. Just quietly to yourself. If
Okay,
you
so
are
he
facing
agrees.
legitimate forms of harassment, report it and then just move on. But like anytime that you do these like mass report, like, hey, you know what? can you guys all report like this page for me? You know, this massive following that I have. Can you go and report these people because they're like harassing me or whatever? Like, you're just asking for trouble at that point. Okay. We've seen what happened during the first round of Gamergate and people doing posts like this. And even if you feel justified or not in doing it, it's just, you're just, we know how these people operate. When they see these mass flagging campaigns, they're going to attack people who do that. So just don't do that. Just, if somebody's legitimately harassing you, just silently report it and move on. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. This was kind of dumb.
Why don't you report this guy, the guy who created this consumer advocacy list, report his account that he spent all his time and all this money on to see if you can get that taken away from him as well. And again, because he was informing consumers. Now, you remember earlier when we were taking a look at the Sweet Baby website, I pointed out that they list the games that they have worked on right on their website. So if they're doing that themselves, are they harassing themselves?
Yeah.
How could it possibly
Yeah. What do you think about that, tipster? Look at him. Look at his dumb face. That is, oh my God, that is such an excellent point. That is such an excellent point. And Tipster doesn't even know that he's arguing, but he's losing anyway. They have all the games they work on. Sweet Baby Inc. has made their own list. They have their own list. If you want to know if they made a game, you just go on their website. So that last guy that was tweeting and crying and coping and seething, he's a moron. And then Tipster kind of agreed, but he was trying to say that this is a conservative blacklist. This is a blacklist for conservatives. This is a right-wing blacklist. Well, then is the Sweet Baby Inc. list also a conservative blacklist? It serves the same purpose. It can be on their website, but not on Steam. When it's on Steam, it's a crime. What a joke! Everyone's an idiot.
harassment to copy paste this list of games that they've posted themselves over on Steam.
Boogie's winning. Boogie wins.
Definitely not worth somebody losing their Steam account over. Now, obviously, gamers didn't like that, but you know who else didn't? Twitter. Twitter fed Chris a 6-day ban for targeted harassment. The thing that Chris was actually doing, the thing that she was accusing others of doing and decided to do herself. Meanwhile, we have
I mean, if you're asking people to mass report shit like that, like you're using a large platform to do something like that, that can be interpreted as a form of targeted harassment. So again, my criticism to Sweet Baby Inc. That wasn't smart. They shouldn't have done that.
Go Butts, who I presume you remember.
Yeah, he's walking it back. Now Tipster's walking it back. Then this is why he shouldn't be live streaming, because the man has no genuine opinions of his own. So look at he's walking it back. Tipster is already walking back his statements. And to be fair, he was already kind of going into it where it's like, oh, well, they shouldn't have done that. But he's not going to acknowledge the entire argument that Boogie just gave where the list exists on the site and on Steam. He's not going to go into that. Because if he goes into that, everything that he just said in regards to the list and how his chat, remember when his chat was all agreed? See, chat, exactly, chat. Exactly, chat. It is just a conservative blacklist. But then Boogie points out, well, it's also on their website. Done. Pack it up, take it home. You're out.
Even from a, public facing perspective, like a PR sort of thing.
Quesadillas are awesome. Fictional character quesadillas are awesome.
It's just not a good look, and it's just going to result in people feeling like they have more justification to harass you. Just don't do it. Don't do this. Don't do these massive call outs for mass flagging campaigns.
All right. Yeah, you said that already.
Just don't do it.
You said
around for it. Pointing out that Steam doesn't, force people to prove that a game has been worked on by Sweet Baby Incorporated, and that might be why it should get taken down. This got community noted by the fact that, number one, Lego Butts works for Sweet Baby Incorporated and probably shouldn't be trusted on this particular topic. And then secondly, the curator literally uses that games list that they have on their website that I showed you earlier to, prove that these are the games they've worked on. And allow me to interject a tutorial here. Why are these guys afraid of people listing the games they've worked on to begin with?
Yeah.
You've done good work, and you're proud.
Yeah. Boogie's killing it. Boogie is on fire, dude.
The work you've done, someone listing all the games you've worked on should be doing you a favor, right? Unless, of course, the work you're putting in is bad and it's ruined some of the
I mean, to some extent, you have people who will see lists like this and they'll use them as an excuse to target game developers who have worked with Sweet Baby Inc.
But the list is on their website
directly. They'll do things like, review bomb any games that they've worked on and stuff like that.
But the list is on their website, Tipster.
And these are things that can be genuinely harmful to the developers and stuff like that. So
then why do they have it on their website, Tipster?
I can understand why they would be upset about this curated list
why the list is on their website, Tipster.
As somebody in the chat mentioned earlier, it's basically a blacklist by right-wing gamers and stuff like that. So I can understand why they would be upset about this list.
Why? It's who watches this guy? Who watches Tipster and is like, this guy's cooking, dude. This guy knows what he's talking about.
still don't think they should have done the whole call out for like a mass report thing or whatever. That definitely shouldn't have happened. But I understand why they would be frustrated about the existence of this list.
Why? It's on their website. Tippy, Goth Mommy King. It's on their website. It's on their website, Tipster. It's on their website, Tipster. It's on their website, Tipster. What more is there to... Oh, I skipped
I'm
ahead.
happy to take a look at it. I don't know what the context is, so I can't really comment too much on that.
It's on wielding cancel culture to get
terrify them with the possibility of
It's just not a good look, and it's just going to result in people feeling like they have more justification to harass you. Just don't do it.
community noted by the fact that number one, Lego Butts should be doing you a favor, right?
Correctly. They'll do things like, review
Better. Then you probably don't want people curating that list. I think they know what they're doing. Now, due to this rise in effect, all of this caused that curated list to bloom over 100K, now 250K people on that list supporting this cause. And as people dug around, they found this, the co-founder of Sweet Baby Incorporated.
I'm going nuts because Tipster is a moron. He got rolled by Boogie. He got destroyed by Boogie because Tipster goes into shit. He doesn't care about his own personal opinions or the facts or the logic or the reasoning or any of that shit. He just real quick skims a topic, tries to figure out what all of the people that he likes, what their opinion is going to be, what he thinks is going to be the most popular topic, and then he tries to play mental gymnastics. He's a robot. He's a fucking robot. He's like, oh, a little bit of Nicholas Diorio. I'll add that to my personality. A little bit of that. A little bit of this. Now I've developed my fake fictional commentary personality off of these personas that I watch on the internet. And this is, whoa, don't touch that, kitty. And now I'm going to take that. And this is, okay, inclusion good. Sweet Baby Inc. likes inclusion. Me defend Sweet Baby Inc. Okay, that's now let's do it for 48 minutes.
Basically saying that they bully people into putting this type of stuff in their games. Here, I'll let her speak for herself.
if you're creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years.
Does she tell people that she bullies game developers into putting shit into their games? Because that's not good.
Put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
That's not good. No, that sounded terrible. I don't know if that was out of context or not, but that sounded awful.
I don't think it's ever a good look to say that your company is based.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what the context is of that clip. I don't know if anybody has found like the full clip, because that clip's been making the rounds, and yeah, admittedly, in its current context, it does look pretty bad for sure. But if anybody has like the full clip of that, I'd be more than happy to take a look at it. I don't know what the context is, so I can't really comment too much on that.
On wielding cancel culture to get big companies to pay you, but if at least you're providing a valuable service, I guess that might be at least conceivable. But if you wonder what kind of service Sweet Baby Incorporated is trying to provide, well,
I mean, what context could there be? Take your marketing department and terrify them.
look at these tweets from Felix that we spoke about earlier. Pay me to shoot down your white male lead game ideas. I had a nightmare that I was a white male gamer. Yeah, it's pretty abundantly clear that they're not.
Why is it okay to, like, I will say that. Why is it, like, okay to say this? Pay me to shoot down your white male lead game ideas. I usually get grossed out when straight white rich people kiss. But even I think those two are... What is, like, why is it okay to be hateful towards white people? I've never understood that. Like, and it makes you look like an idiot because now you're opening yourself up to criticism. Like anything else this person, Felix at home, has to say, I don't want to. Had a nightmare that I was a white male gamer. Like, who is this for? Like, inclusion, but not that inclusion. Like, right? Like,
they're not there to add diversity to games. They're there to push white people and white males.
See somebody in the chat says that's just normal corporation stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty normal for, like, you know, various different corporations to hire like consultancy firms and stuff like that to evaluate various different things. That's why I don't think this like Sweet Baby thing is like as big of an issue. I do think it was a bad idea for them to try and mass report.
All right, we're gonna skip ahead till I watch Tipster's mouth stop moving. Okay.
Is a home base for hateful reactionaries to single out and harass game developers. Why are Valve and Discord permitting harassment against Sweet Baby Incorporated? And again, the harassment Bryant is so upset about is that someone copied and pasted from the Sweet Baby Incorporated website the list of games they've worked on.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon.
All right, we're gonna pause here. What do we think? Should we skip ahead to where Tipster responds to Boogie, like where Tipster like responds to like the beef he has with Boogie? Because I think I get the gist of the controversy now, and we all get that Tipster has terrible takes. Should we just skip ahead? I'm waiting for the ad to roll. All right, the ad rolled. I vote yes. So we'll just find where we get the gist of it, right? Tipster's an idiot. Boogie's rolling him. Tipster's doing Tipster things, and then I want to get where does we? Oh, he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. Do I have my timeline wrong? This was 6 days ago. And Boogie responded 4 days ago. Oh. So, okay. Fair enough. So I had the timeline wrong. It was Boogie versus Tipster. Tipster made that video, and then Boogie responded. And then Tipster responded. I missed it. I thought he did. I mean, that's just easy. No, he didn't. Wow. So I'm wrong. I was wrong about the timeline, but that just makes it look worse on Tipster. Because Boogie actually blew him out of the stratosphere. He like didn't even respond. Tipster's like, yeah, I lose. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, you saw the kitty. He's a baby. So yeah, what happened then, guys, is Tipster then at that point, if I have the, and we've already seen that I might have the timeline a little wrong here, but I want to believe this is exactly how it happened. Yeah, Tipster declared irrelevant by YouTube support. Nicholas Diorio, do you have the T? I'm looking at the Nicholas Diorio video here. See if he has the tweet. Here it is. I have had several people inform me of this in the past 24 hours. He's referring to the fact that if you type in Tipster, his channel doesn't even come up. It's other channel. Even if you look up like Tipster by channel, he is not even the first result. And he has like 100,000 subscribers. So I might have the timeline wrong, but I just really want to believe that with like all of the Vosh drama and Tipster constantly defending lollies, like he literally got knocked out of the algorithm. He's so goddamn irrelevant, which is just funny because you get all these clips of him just being like, I'm doing okay. You're not doing okay. You should have a full-time job at this point, Tipster. Yeah, here's the back and forth. He literally had a back and forth with this girl Hazel at YouTube. I'm contacting you because my audience has informed me that as of yesterday, my channel no longer appears in search results. But dude, and look, she confirms. Just to confirm, is this the channel link in question? Like, is this your channel? Is this your channel? Are you sure this is your channel? Okay, hold on. Let me look into this for you, Tipster. Please know that, like Google's search engine, search on YouTube strives to surface the most relevant results. According to keyword queries, channel/videos are ranked based on a variety of factors, including how well the title, description, and video content match the viewer. So this Hazel girl literally hits Tipster with the, you're irrelevant. The algorithm is working perfectly fine. It's just nobody wants to watch your channel. So, you know, when everyone's looking up Tipster on the search engine over and over and over again, and none of them are clicking your videos, at a certain point the algorithm just stops recommending your videos. So I guess that's the end of that. That was just my little rant. I thought that was entertaining. I thought that was funny. So I don't like Tipster. I'm not a fan of his content. I think his content is very bad, and I just found the whole thing to be funny. States at least experiences. I mean, working sucks, okay? And a lot of people are in really, really bad situations. They're experiencing fatigue. They're experiencing mental health issues due to working, and they're not a multimillionaire, and they don't get to make their own schedule, and, you know, they don't get to just, like, it's not comparable, okay? It's very, this take in the clip that we just played is so obviously, like, coming from a place of complete disconnection, delusion, someone that just does not get it at all.